welcome back, and I'm glad you stopped by today, and you certainly will be, because we have Sharon Lechter. She is a recognized international financial literacy incredible expert with over 26 books, including ones I'm sure you know and probably have read, and that is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Outwitting the Devil, as well as I think it's called Think and Grow Rich for Women. Yes, correct me if I'm wrong on that. And her newest book, we're so excited we're going to be talking about that today, is called Exit Rich. Welcome, Sharon.
Hello, Jill. So good to see you again. We've been on each other for a long time, and I really appreciate you and all that you do. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I'm so excited always to talk to you because you're so full of information. I know you're always committed to giving people the highest and the best. And now we have Exit Rich. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm excited about it because it really is kind of like bringing my 50-year career and putting it all in one book. And now you get a double trouble. You see both of them there. And it's really exciting. We're doing this in conjunction with Inc. magazine, their imprint. So it's a power of association, what I teach. But so many people think of themselves as business owners, but they really own a job, not a business, because they haven't put the structure in. And so this book is about teaching you how to take your successful business, build in that structure so that it can be sustainable, scalable, and saleable. Doesn't mean you have to sell it, but you get it to the point where it truly becomes an economic engine, an asset, my favorite word on earth, asset, an asset that generates for you. And when it becomes more successful, you actually get some of your time back. So you've got more income and more time. That's the best of all worlds. But too many people think about just the marketing and sales, very important, but you need to have the structure and the foundation of your business. So we talk about the 6 P's of building a strong and successful business. And that's understanding your people, right? Do you have the right people on your team? Do you have people who are strong where you are weak? Your advisors, your mentors. Then understand your product, of course, your product and service, and then your processes, your business systems. That's what makes you ability to scale. Those business systems are such strong elements of you being able to 10x, 100x, 1000x your success. And then your patrons, like your customers. So many people are excited because they have hundreds of thousands of people on social media, but you don't have them. Facebook owns them, Instagram, and many of us have experienced the fact that they can turn it off. You want to entice that social platform, those people, to come back to you. Bring them home to your database. Give them free gifts, but get them home so you have the ability to communicate with them. And then profits. Most of us just think about the product and the profits, but you really need to have the understanding of all of those elements. And the proprietary is so important. That's your intellectual property. That's what you own. What makes you different, your competitive advantage. And so we walk you through each of these 6 P's on how to identify that value and build that valuation in your company, identify it, protect it, and leverage it. So it's an incredible. My co-author, Michelle Seiler Tucker, is the largest female business broker, mergers and acquisition expert in the country. And so she comes in it from the tactics of what you do. And I approach it from a standpoint of an overall mentor and an investor. Because you may not have a company, but you may invest in companies. This is a great tool to use to assess the validity and the value behind companies you might want to invest in.
I love that. And it's certainly, I mean, in your little moment there of great teaching, I learned so much, right? I love that. And all these things that, yes, we as business owners must be thinking about. And thank you for helping us remember that. When do you think business owners should start planning their exit?
The day they start their business. You have a mission. Your mission of your business is what problem do you solve? What need do you serve? That's your whole reason for existence. But when you build something like that, do you really want to build something that's going to tie your hands to it forever? Or do you want to build something that can set you free? I think I know the answer to that. And so when you start a business, yes, you want to put all the systems in place and you want to understand how you're going to play a bigger game, but also how are you going to gain that freedom? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to go through an IPO? Are you going to just bring in staff to run it so that you don't have to be hands-on? But all of those things are processes you need to think about, particularly if you need to raise money. An investor's not going to come in if you haven't decided how you're going to exit rich. They come in, yeah, they want to know how much money they're going to make when they put it in on an annual basis, but they want to know when their exit is. What is that exit event that's going to help them get their money out at a big profit? So it's, look at this as planning to exit rich. That's exactly what I want every business owner to think about.
Well, that's powerful because I think so many are so excited about their business. They certainly aren't thinking maybe about exiting. What does that actually mean? And frankly, how to do it, right?
Right. And understand in this, we talk about how to find that value in your business. So you may want to expand, you may want to self-fund it. Well, if you haven't identified all the value you already have, it's going to be hard to get a business loan. This helps you identify all that value and protect it, have the right contracts in place, make sure you own what you think you own, and pull that all in conjunction together so that when you need a loan or you need an investor, all your paperwork is in order. Because so many times when people want financing or they're looking potentially to sell, a potential investor or a potential buyer comes in and your paperwork's a mess, and all of a sudden your price goes down. So we want you to come in with a ball gown and tuxedo on, ready to rock. And we're going to give you all that information that's going to help you put the best plan together to build a strong, viable company that will be attractive to investors, to banks, and potentially suitors and buyers.
I love that. And I know you shared a little bit of this, but what are some ways that a business can build more value?
Well, most of you already have intellectual property, you just haven't recognized it. And that's what we have a whole intellectual property checklist in here that will allow you to start identifying things that you already have. And a big thing is understanding that, do you have your agreements in place? In this world of e-commerce and having outside consultants and outsourcing things, many people think they own something that they don't. You might have hired a company to help you do your website. If you don't have in that agreement that you own it, that it was a work for hire, that company still owns a site. And so you have to be very clear about how to structure that, because it should be your property. I just had a new headshots taken yesterday, and with our photographer, we negotiated that those shots, those pictures are mine. I can do whatever I want to. If I hadn't negotiated that, then she owned them and I could only use them for a specific purpose. So we had to go back and forth. And most business owners don't read the fine print. There are a lot of platforms out there. People are the rage of online programs. Most people sign up with the platform and there's this thing that says, click here to agree to terms and conditions, and they click it without ever reading them. And many of those platforms out there own your content forever. And you don't want that. And so we help people identify and understand how to protect what you have developed, how to protect your company, how to build that valuation. And you've probably heard when businesses sell the term goodwill. That's that intangible value. It's not on your books. That's an intellectual property, intangible asset. So if you think about Coca-Cola, right? Billions of dollars in the brand. It's not on paper, but the valuation of the company is there. Airbnb, they don't own that many assets, but huge valuation, intangible. And so in this world, that helps us compete more when it's the amount of intangible property that we can have. But that increases the valuation of your company significantly. And we take you through step by step how to identify that value and to secure it.
So many things, again, thinking about it, right? There's so much that people own or do that they never count. In fact, I hadn't really thought about the headshots. My gosh, right? With somebody like you, famous, who she could do all kinds of things with it and resell them and all kinds of other fun things that hopefully would be good and legit, but you never know, right? With people.
That's right. You have to, if you don't protect yourself, how can you expect someone else to? So you have to really understand what your rights are and what your needs are and what you own. Because if you do want to sell, they're going to come in and they're going to want to make sure that you have all those contracts, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. And so we're going to help you do that from the beginning and set yourself up so that you have the highest opportunity for the highest amount of investment or the highest sale price.
Well, that is a good thing. More money, honeys, right?
That's some more money, honey. You bet.
And I know you've always been such a leader in this, and for women, but for men and women. So, you've had just this incredible, illustrious career, and I've always been in awe and respect for you. And I would love to hear just like what is your favorite, one of your favorites? I'm sure there are many. What's one of your favorite memories if you were just sort of looking back going, wow, I can't believe this happened in my career? What would it be for you?
Well, my answer, I get asked that question a lot. And usually my answer is the next one, right? What's your best achievement? Because out of 26 books, people ask me, what was your favorite book? And I go, it's like asking you, who's your favorite child, right? And in certain situations for women, obviously, Think and Grow Rich for Women is my favorite book. For people that are going through struggles and fear, Outwitting the Devil's my favorite. But from a standpoint of achievements, it's like, it usually comes back to family. But I will say, just a couple of weeks ago, I was at an event with Tariq El Moussa. He's the star of the HGTV show Flip and Flop, and we're actually both working together now. And his partner in a fund that came up to me and said, Sharon, you don't remember me, I know, because 17 years ago, you taught a class in my entrepreneurial school at University of Arizona. Only time I only went down there once. You came and taught us. And he says, it's because of that class, you made me interested in real estate. And I stand before you as a multimillionaire in real estate. That's a pretty mind-blowing experience. 17 years later, to hear that something that I don't even remember doing it. I mean, I do kind of know I went down there, but to know that you just don't know. My Play Big movement on Facebook, Play Big movement with Sharon Lechter, is about being number one in your field, living your legacy, which means every heart you touch every single day is how you create your legacy. It's not when you're gone, it's every single day, and then creating maximum impact. And so it's those types of situations. And then yesterday I was we were talking to Brandon Dawson, who loves the book Exit Rich, and um, he's the co-owner of Cardone Ventures with Grant Cardone. And he was telling me about, gosh, we're talking 10 years ago, he and I were having a conversation. I was speaking to his group. So we were on the way from the green room to the stage. Now, I don't remember this conversation, but he said, Sharon, you said something to me about setting up my IP in a separate company. And because of that, I sold my company for $151 million. And I now have multiple companies with IP. And it's like, I don't even remember that conversation. But to have that kind of testimonial from people where you really realize you just pour into people and you just never know what's going to come from it.
Well, and that's your wonderful generosity, and how life-changing is that, right? Just a simple conversation for you, because you walk and talk this, this inside out. Most people don't, right? Money is a little scary to some, and to many, including business owners. So the fact that you're providing real world ways and to increase that, and I know what a difference that convo makes, right? Just the impact and the heartfeltness of that. And I love your movements that you're doing and everything you're doing. And I know that people are going to want to get in touch with you. Will you let us know how they can, I know you've got a plan for Exit Rich, and how they can stay connected to you.
Certainly. Well, my website's SharonLechter.com. It's got information on there about programs and my mentoring. But and you can always email me at info@Sharon Lechter. But I would really love it if you guys would jump in there. I like to disrupt the publishing industry. And so the book is coming out in June, but I want you to have it now. So if you order it today, we'll deliver this to you electronically. And then the hard copy will be mailed to you in June when it's released. But you go to exitrichbook.com/buy. Not exitrich.com, exitrichbook.com/buy. and you can get the book downloaded to you, and then we will send it to you in June. Make sure you put in your email address when you order it so that we can send it to you. ExitRichBook.com/buy. And then reach out to me, info at Sharon Lechter. Would love to hear from you.
Wow, it's such a super offer. I mean, you don't have to wait with Sharon. That's another thing you need to learn, all of you, right? We're not waiting, we're just doing. And she is helping you exit rich, save your money, make more money. Thank you so much, Sharon, for everything you've been sharing today.
Well, thank you, Jill. It's a delight to see you again. And thank you so much for sharing me with your audience. I appreciate all of you.
You're so welcome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And please go to jilllublin.com/publicity. Love to help you out with your publicity and keep your name out there so that you can keep being in the news. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.